Oh. So good evening all and welcome to this second day of the Kali Linux training. So you're all welcome and good evening. You please, I'll need you to actually power on your laptop because we'll be doing a lot. It's a more practical expository class. We'll be showing you a lot, so it's no longer we're no longer doing prerequisites. You're doing the real thing. So the only difference is that I'll be standing here for now. When we cross over to the simulator, then the Israelis will pick it up from. But you will be shown everything you need to know at this stage. Yeah. So as how many people have downloaded the Metasploit table? How many people have downloaded it on their system? Because In this particular essentials, you'll be taking 10 different. Let me just show you something so that you can value what you have learned so far. This is one of the projects you'll be writing. This is our headquarters website. This is one of the projects you'll be writing. Are you is so when we tell you to write script, are you seeing how many? This is line 520. So this is like 520. So gear up and get yourself together. Those fat salaries you see, are you seeing? This is what you've been doing. So I actually said you should learn how to do this thing before you go to the simulator. It's simply because I want the best for you guys. I want the best for you. Yeah, I want the best for you. That's actually why I said, sorry, the light will soon be back. Yeah. So okay, fine. The light is back. So, oh, sorry. Let me share my screen. All right. Can you all see my screen now? So like I told people that cybersecurity is native when it comes to. Are you seeing this line? Are you seeing this 500 and what? 520. So please guard yourself very well. What makes you different is your ability to write your own tools. That is your selling point. What is your selling point? That is your selling point when you get to what? The market. So that is actually why at this point in time, if we have to open up to you and actually start showing you things that is actually proprietary to us, you understand? Our company policy sets in immediately. So when we are doing pericosite training, it's a different ball game entirely. At this point, we are leading you to where you are going to. So it's a different ball game. Now, as if I told you, so all those things you have done in the batch, they're not just lessons learned and you throw away. You're going to keep building on them from here. So have you all downloaded your Metasploit table? You keep building on. If you have downloaded it, let me know. If you have downloaded, you can just tell me yes here so that we can know. Okay, but you can keep downloading from your hand and see what we are doing. Now we are moving fast. Like I said, you have 10 lessons. Last week we looked at this. Last week, so the last time we met, we looked at this particular file system. Sorry. Okay. I think it's not blood currently. I don't know. So how many of you were able to work on this? This looks more clearer. I had to go and get a clearer one. How many of you were able to work on this? Just tell me yes. No, please, can you use the WhatsApp handle? Can you use the WhatsApp handle, please? Okay, please. You'll be doing yourself good if you leave this place and you're not practicing. So there are some commands you did not take that will be taken at this place. So we have a more detailed and a patterned patterned training approach. Now it is no longer joke. This is the real thing. Now, if you cannot explain Kali Linux file system like this, you don't know what you're doing yet. And you cannot go very far to write something like this if your foundation is not. Are you seeing it? So that you can see. Are you seeing the script from where it is? So it is not joke when we tell you that it is their native. So nobody knows how to drink Ijebu Gari. Nobody knows how to drink Ijebu Gari. Okay, we will take a recap here. Nobody knows how to drink Ijebu Gari more than the Ijebu man. When it comes to cybersecurity, it is Israel's native. So that's why you get it. You get it. Hello. Yeah, Mr. Afegbeson, I'm actually reacting to your. We'll take a recap just now. Different. It is blood. No, 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 no. I think this. Okay, I have not shared this particular script with you people. I think this one is better. Sorry, this one is better. Can you see? Can you all see this? This one is not blood. Can you all see this? Okay, let me just share it on the platform so that you can pick it from there. Okay, you can pick it from there. So I don't think that is blood. So we talked about the bin, the root, the etc file, the user file, the var file, the sbin file, the temp file, the dev file, essential devices, the home, the lib, the mnt, the opt, the root, and other files attached to. These are the file of the system. So we came here. Sorry. I'm actually logged in here. So we all actually know how to navigate around with a simple command called directly dot. It takes you back to this place. At this place, you can actually look at all the files in your system. So what you're looking at here, that is what you are seeing there. So you should be able to explain Linux from this standard, the Linux files, the Linux file system hierarchy. Sorry, 1 minute. Sorry, 1 minute. 1 minute. Is this guy not? Oh my God. Okay. So this is the Linux file hierarchy. So I want you guys to react to it. I want you guys to react to it. Tell me what you have learned so far, so that it's more interactive class. We're not going to come back to this. Now we looked at actually looking at the var file, the opt file, what you have in the var file, what you have in the sbin file, what stores, what does the etc file store. You should actually understand it from that point. So this particular file I shared is not blood. It's actually clearer. You can see everything in it. So we navigated earlier. I think we spent time looking at auth.log, where you have your log file. I think you get it what in the var. So when you ls, so I think we looked at, just want to look at what we actually looked. So when you cat auth.log, so as you move on, you'll be seeing all this in auth.log. So whatever I'm doing is actually a tip of an iceberg of what you'll be doing. So I just want you to actually be able to chew that height of information very well. So we navigated all through. I expect you to play with it. Play with it, actually navigate it properly. So I expect you to play with it. So I don't know if you have questions from last week. Who tried it? What challenges are you having before we actually start looking at? Although we'll still come back to it. So those are basically what we looked at last week. Sorry, the last class. So do you have any questions with it? Stuff for today? So we'll be looking at some commands that we have not taken before. Text manu, you've actually taken it, manipulation tools, but we look at it more strictly. You only just look to, I'll paste them here. Sorry. So we look at this more deeply. You have not actually used awk before. So you add that to your arsenal. So this particular lesson class will be shared after the class. Now we are looking at sort. How do you use sort command? This is how you use sort command. Now, if you have an uneven file, so that you can start doing that, ping. We all know this. So you see you've gone very far, 168.249.192. You want to cut it into, let's say, test. Free sim test.txt. So it's actually, so we use this to actually do all the examples we need to do. So let's give it a while so that it actually writes into it. So if I Control C, I can. It has. What happened just now? But that's the file. Sorry, let me use a simpler 192. Okay, 192. I've seen where the error is, 249.129. txt. So that should do that. It should ping that. So please, can you all bring out your system? Let's actually start working on it. You take these 5 codes, you look at different ways of actually using, we call them file manipulation tools. So Control C, when you cut this, it should. So that's all you have in that file. So it's pinging into it already. Now, if you want to use sort code, you come here, you put a bar, you put a pipe, then you actually, you put a pipe, then you actually add sort. So we'll create different files and we'll actually try that out. So the first stuff we're looking at today is text operation, file manipulation tools. Then we're looking at the sort command. We look at the unique command. We look at the cut command. You've actually done cut before, but you look at it in different way. You look at the awk command, then we look at the translate, then base 64 encoding algorithm. So we treat all those, then we now move to the next lecture for today. So please, can you start snapping and actually showing me how you're using your sort? You can actually do, let me clear. You can echo into it. Echo. If you can write text te.txt, so that will just make it simple. So you can still echo. Yeah, that's fine. Well, let's make it just a simpler text in it. Dissecting. Let's call the dissecting the dissect. Dissecting. Same echo into same file, so that the echo command, the echo. So when you cut that, or I've actually, so append God is good to it. So you see you already know what to do. So you are not learning it, you are just actually learning new moves. So it's easier to train that way when you are training with experts. So you already know what to do. So when I'm saying it, you know the next thing to do. So you are appending it. So it's easier than you are learning from the scratch. That's why this particular class is actually fundamental. Dissecting. 1, 2. So cut it. This is actually what I wanted to do. So you can repeat this, then did you see the way what happened? So it arranges it in what alphabetical order. I don't know if you saw. So I just want to show you what that command does. It arranges it in alphabetical order. So that's what that sort command do. Let's do another one so that you see it. I think we wrote a bad script for actually writing into this thing. So you can create a text file on your own and actually practice with sort. Let's say total package. Total package. Then you say te.txt. Then you now come to write stem echo. Let's see what this gives us. Cat te.txt. So you see, it's writing it. You can still come and write echo. Michael is a good boy. T.txt. So the sort, when you cut this, now you see the way it was arranged before. Let me clear the screen. So you want to sort this data. When you cut this, when you now bring it back and you put your sort, it rearranges it. So that's actually why let's use a, so that is what the sort file is used to do. I'm actually putting this already on your WhatsApp handle. So you can actually create different things on your own and use the sort command. So two things I actually have shown you. Now, if you want to keep writing into any file, although you have, I'm sure you, what do you mean permission denied error? Can you do a screenshot? Is it logging into the meeting or at your Linux? Can you actually screenshot? Let's see what it is. Now, if I want to edit this, I can still write something else into the file. Grace is from God. I can still write you need a lot of passion to push okay. Mr. Oluwashola, please can you share your screen? Bola, you to push your dream, to push your vision. So let's see what the weight. Let me clear the screen. Let's see the weights are arranged. Sorry. Then let's so then if we add sort, so you don't need to keep, you can just use your top and bottom arrow. You see the way it comes out. So this is another example. So you can keep adding. So it's actually a file operation tool. You can keep adding and okay, all right. I'll start all over. So we're actually looking at file manipulation tool. So I guess you guys have not forgotten what you've learned. That's actually where it will be a problem. So I'll take this class as if you don't know anything from the scratch. I'm assuming that you actually still remember. So let me see the dot because most of you, I think that var log will be. So we are back to what? Root. Sorry. We are back to root. So let me do it from root. Now, when I say we want to write something into a file, how do you write stuff into a file? You can actually use the echo command. You can use the touch command. You can say touch. You use touch to actually create files. Sorry. So echo command, echo this. Sorry. This is the first class. So you create the file test2 test2.txt. Let me see. Okay. So t2.txt. Now it's already there. You can see that the greater than sign is 1. If you want to keep on writing anything to it, you actually come here, increase the greater than sign to 2. It will keep appending whatever you write. You just come here, you change whatever you want to write. God so loved the world. You come here. Together, we all achieve more. You press enter, then you come here. You write agility is the next big thing. Big thing in IT. So once you put this way, you can just cut the file te2.txt. Sorry. So you see the way it's arranged. Let me clear so that you can see it clearly. Let's take that again. So now you see the way it's arranged. When you now actually add sort to it, it rearranges it alphabetically. Are you getting it? So you use this to actually rearrange words alphabetically. So that's what it is. So if you're actually looking into files and you actually want to actually sort things out, you actually. So let me show you an application, but it will be two. Control V. So let's go back to. I'm sure you guys can understand this basic, because once we take basic, we take an advanced stuff. Now you're actually trying to actually navigate a particular file, a particular authentication. Now you come here, you actually navigate to what var/log. Sorry. So there's no need doing it twice. You're already the log. Now you want to cut what? Auth.log. Auth.log. You want to create it into what? Let's say te3.txt. No. Cut auth.log. So are you saying it? So it has actually written it in this file. So unfortunately, most of them it has arranged it. I'm looking at stuff that actually has the logs are actually uneven. Okay, and you can see it's actually uneven at a point in time, because yeah, it's uneven. There's February in between. So when you want to actually make it serial, you can come here and add sort. So you see, it's more even. So you can see that it's showing you today. These are all logins from today. As you're scrolling up, all these are logins from today: April 6th, April 5th, April 4th, April 3rd, February 6th, April 5th. So that is actually what you use it to do. But it picks it in alphabetical order. Clear. Sorry, I don't understand your question, Mr. Adeleke. I'm only trying to actually show you. Let me come back so that I don't confuse you. I'm only trying to show you how you actually use this particular tool in your day-to-day. Sorry, you want to say something as a cybersecurity analyst. Now,
Yes,
what
good
we are
evening.
treating is what file sorting tool. You understand? So our current lecture, it's what? text or operation. So we are looking at 5 different tools. I don't know if you are just coming in.
You know, I saw what you did. I'm just asking that have you written into the hot.log before? As you run it, that's it.
Okay, I hope you understand that. Okay, maybe let me redo what I did so that you can, or maybe I can understand your question better. I actually navigated to.
No, I understand to that hot.log. That is why I'm asking. Have you written something into it before?
No, you don't write anything into
It's
hot.log.
automated. Okay.
Hot.log is actually the files that actually show you when people log in into the system. Check
Okay.
logs into your system,
Can we
whether
run
somebody
it
has
on
come
our
into the
own and it
system.
will go?
Sorry?
Can we run it on our own and it will go?
Yeah, I'm showing
Okay.
you how to do it. Now, come down to
Okay.
var.log. .log.
.log.
No, don't get to hot.log. Now, if you want to see what is in hot.log,
Okay.
you just say, okay, cat hot.log. And I believe you understand what the cat command does.
Yes.
It shows you, it writes out what is in a file. Now, what hot.log? Now, let's come back to this lesson so that it doesn't look as if, so that I'll know that you are following. Now, if we come back to this, this is the file system. Now, in all this bin, the boot, the etc, the user, the var. Now, part of what this var is what the log files. The log actually shows you how people would log in into the system. Are you getting it? Now, if you come back, come down here, you still see the definition. That's why you need to actually read it up. I don't know, log files, various logs. Are you seeing it? So what that auth.log means, authentication.log. That's what it means. Now, what we are trying to look at here, we are looking at how many people have logged. What is the login history of this system? Now, in your penetration testing, you will actually be doing things like erasing your track. If you log into a system, you hack into a system, the system actually has auth.log. It shows that somebody has broken in. Now, if I come and check, I did not log into the system at this time. Are you getting it? So you want to sort you want to now look at all the logins and actually sort them. That is what you are trying to do. So you can write them into a TXT file. What you carted down, you can write it into maybe te4.txt. We've written it into it already. Now, when you cut that file, te4.txt, you see that everything has been written into it. And I'm sure you know how to use that greater than command to actually write files. It's a very long file. That's actually why it's a very long file. Sorry. Okay, this is where we wrote it. Are you seeing? So it's a very long file. So we cutted this into this. Now, what is in this auth.log has been transferred into the TXT file. Now, we are trying to sort the content. That is why we actually are using the sort command. So that's just it. And I've actually explained it in a simple form. Let me go back and explain it because this is a very long file. So or we've actually looked at grep too. Let's look at the cat. Let's look at what we can grep so that you can properly understand it. You can't use the grep command here. A sort you can use. It's actually the horizontal grep command, which we have actually done before. So I believe you guys want to start refreshing our memory on batch scripting. Now let's go back and actually do it simply. I think I wrote a called te2.txt. This te2.txt. Have we erased it? Okay, so this is one I wrote. Is it T3? Okay. Okay, let's clear. Then if there's no T2, so let me take this particular stuff for the last time, Mrs. Temitope, so that you can understand it. Now we are looking at the command called sort. I believe Mr. Oluwashola, you have not actually gotten back to me. So Miss Grace, are you okay now? You say I keep getting permission denied error. Please, at this particular stage, I need everybody to be speaking out. If you have issues with what we're doing, please speak out. And because you need to refer back to these trainings. Okay, all right, that's fine. Now let me just repeat this verse. Now let's take TE2. We want to create it. So echo, we're using echo good thinking, good product. So it's simple. You write it into what? Let's say t2.txt. You want to write something else into it, you have to actually make this particular greater than sign 2. You come back, you can change reciprocal. So you come back, you put elevation. Let's just try different stuff. Then let's just do one more. Let's just do one more. Sorry. Okay, let's just do one more. Goliath. I think we've used G before. So do that. So when you actually cut this particular file, it comes out in an uneven. So when you want to sort it, are you saying the way? Let me clear my screen. When you cut this file t2.txt, so when you actually sort it, it rearranges it automatically. You'll be needing things like this. Are you saying so? That is what the file does. So I will. Okay, Mr. Ilori, we have 10 lessons. Now, the lesson for last week was file hierarchy system, the last class. We've treated it, and we expect you guys to actually work and practice it. Now, for this class, the lesson we're actually looking at currently is actually text manipulations. And we are actually looking at, so there are 10 lessons you will take before we move to batch scripting. Text manipulation tools. We are looking at the sort tool now. So after the sort tool, look at the translate tool. So let's actually use unique. Let's actually same stuff. Let's see what's unique. When you use the command unique, what does it do? So you see what it just did. So it actually So I think you can you can command that you can just play around. So you can just play around that. If you write sort, if you cut down, this is the way this file is. Now when you use sort, it turns it around. So that's that. I'll pause here. Can you guys navigate back to the var and log file and actually use this unique? Okay, that's fine. That is fine. That's fine. Now, can you guys use this on your? Can you use this? Navigate to the var file, var log file. Use this particular code on the auth.log file so that we can take that as the application class. Use it on the auth.log file. What I mean is this: I'm already here, so I have actually, we have cat t3.txt. So I have sort. This is what sort is giving me. Okay, let's apply unique to it. Is there any difference? Are you seeing any difference? Because I can see that the sort. Okay, so we move on from here. Let's look at another stuff we've used before. Because you have access to these training notes, let's look at the translate command. We've used unique. Now the translate command. Can somebody remind me how you use translate command? Then we look at the cut command. So I think let's use this cut so that you can appreciate. Now this is txt. Let me say all right, Mr. Jesu I can understand what you're saying. So let's use this cut command. Did you see what it did to it? So let me clear. So in case, can we all remember how we use cut the first time we use cut? Now let's say man cut. Now, so we are looking deep into it now. Now the one we look. So let's come back. So we are okay. Let me screenshot this so that we can try out all the options. Yes. at this stage, it's no longer Egypt. So we are looking at the B, we're looking at the C option. Now, then we look at all the options clear. Now we have this particular text, cat te3.txt. So this is what is in it. Now we're looking at how can we actually manipulate this file. So if you use the cut, we have the B option. These are all the options we have. So let me copy and paste. So we are looking at it more closely. So these are what we have in man. So if we use the B flag, 1, 2, 3, te3.txt. This is what it gives us. April. It takes the first words, the first 3 characters. That is what, in case you want to cut that file, this is what it uses to do. Now, if we add 4, 5, and 6, are you seeing that? That's what it gives us. Now, that is what that can do for you, the flag B. Now, let's look at other flags. So it lists the character. So if we actually come back, clear. I don't know if you people are following. We are looking at these things in depth. So it's almost repeating the same word that is doing. Okay. Now let's move to, I think we are used to the delimiter. Now, so these are the we've looked at B, we looked at C. Now let's look at F before we treat. Let's look at flag F. If you are using cut with flag F, what does it do? I think it's repeating the whole. It is repeating the whole. Let me see. Like more like it's repeating the whole. Repeating the whole. Let's take delimiter. Delimiter. Oh. Specify a list of bytes. Protocol will specify. Sorry, 1 minute. clear. 1 minute. Somebody is actually showing me better option. See if that works. Field of form te3.txt. Okay, I think that works. So let's come back and actually review it, clear. Okay, so let's see what it picks. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So it picked, okay, column from that place. Okay. So these two, let's say 3 first. Let's see what it will pick. Okay. All right. So that is actually how you cut out issues. That's how you use code. So okay, Mr. Solomon. Okay, I think this particular stuff it's too. Let's cut minus b te2. This is the first example, te2.txt. So if I cut te2.txt, this is what is in te2.txt. Are you seeing it? So what it did was to take the first. So if we, that's B, if we actually extend it, so it picks the first character, 2, 3, 4. It picks. So are you clear from here, Mr. Solomon? So this is cut now. Are you okay? Good. So we looked at the other options. We have this. We looked, sorry. Oh, I think you should have that on your handle. I think that was the last thing I pasted. We look at character, then we now look at delimiter. So we looked at hyphen B. Now, I'm sure you understand what we are trying to do by looking in depth into a particular operation and how different flags in which you can use it. Clear. We looked at this same. We looked at what hyphen C. If we change this to C, what will it give us? It's almost still repeating the same thing. Now, in a clear text like this, we now say if we use this and we use the delimiter, I am sure we all have actually taken delimiter before. Let's see if it's going to fly because none of this has column. So what we would take as, okay, let's use space instead of actually using column. Let's use space. Instead of taking column, let's use what? Space. Then hyphen 2. Then te2.txt. So that is what it. Oh, there's no. It's and there's no space in this particular. We have to use a complex statement that has, let's say, 3.txt. Let's see what is going to pick. Sorry. clear. Space 1, space 2, space 3. What happened? Wow. What's happening? Is it just... Okay. I'm sure it should be able to take a space. Okay, let's see if it's a syntax error. It's only going to just repeat the old stuff. I'm trying to actually make it take a space, but either which way, I think that syntax only works when you actually call a particular stuff out. Like when you put in column, you use column. I think that works perfectly for it. So if we come back and clear this, the second column, so that is that. So I don't know, does anybody has a question with cut? That is how cut is used, and you've seen different flavors of using cut. So we move to awk. I'm sure we have not used this command before. I hope we all saw what it did. Let me clear. Let me change that to and see what's going to print out. So let's look at the file, what it looks at, what is printing out. So it's taking this 1, 2. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So if I wanted to print only 10 and 11, so you come here. So if you actually want to extract a particular line of words, you use the awk file. So let's clear. Let's use a more something that is not too long so that you can say it. God is good. te5.txt. Then you can write into it. You can write it to it. Tech trends are the best. So I think let's write about 10 of it. Then SciSec is trending for the next 5 years. Then how many have we written? Let's light another one. 6. It is what it is. Thank you, Claire. So when you come and actually awk, print dollar. Okay, before we do that, let's cut that file so that we can see what is in it the way it is. 5.txt. So are you seeing the way it is? So if I want to print the second word and the fourth word, so all I just need to do is come back here. You don't need to actually $2, $2, $4. Oh, I think we use the wrong. Okay, it's supposed to be te5.txt. So I am sure you guys now understand how to use awk. Let me so we've looked at copy. What we have actually looked at, we've looked at sort, we've looked at sorry, 1 minute. We looked at sort, we look at unique, we looked at cut, we looked at auth. The base 64 algorithm we actually will skip it. It's not necessary. So those are things you actually have not. So we move to the next so I want to show you something here. Why actually, this is why I said you should download. Now, I believe we all know about Linux and Ubuntu so that you don't skip important information. Now, SSH, Secure Shell Protocol. Can somebody tell me what you use it for? So this brings us to the next part. Have you installed your Metasploit table? Because that's the only way you can set up another system. That's why I said you should actually set it up. So this is it. It's actually up and running. ifconfig. So switch user MFS admin. Its commands are actually different. So his own commands are actually different. It's actually a Metasploit table. You will take that part in the offensive. So the essence of actually bringing you taking this course is actually so that I don't skip. No. Okay, you just download it like you normally. Let me close this one now. Sorry, before I close it, let me change my date so that I don't have problems with it. Have you downloaded it? Have you downloaded it? It's just the same way you load your this thing. That's the same way you do this. Now let me close it. Now all we have is what? Now, so you come here. This is my desktop. You see, I've actually downloaded it here. So this is it. Now, so download it and then you just extract it and save it on your desktop like Metasploit. So when you come to your VMware, you file, open, you go to Metasploit, you just click on it and load it the way you are loading your Kali. It will actually load as the second. So we have this Kali Linux here, we have this Metasploit here. All you just do, you can allocate 1 gig memory to it, you power it on. Do you now understand how do you? So it's you don't install it, you just download it like you download your Linux image file. So there are 2 different systems now. There are 2 different systems. You have 2 computers. So I want to show you how you move from one of them, you log into the other one. The syntax for doing that. That's now the login is MSF admin. As time goes on, you will see the other users on it, but that is what the login is. Sorry. So now you can do IF.
You said we should extract it first, right?
Have you downloaded it?
Of course, yes.
Now, is it in a zip file or is in a .zz, .7z?
It's in zip file.
Okay, you can use any zip stuff to extract it. There, extract it. You can use any zip stuff to extract it there. So IF config. So you see, this system is 192.168.249.130. That is the config address. So if you want to actually, what SSH is what? SSH is a secure connection. Now it's always on port 22. So this particular lesson note will be shared to you so that it's you need to cover essential topics. It's always on port 22. So this is one way to connect to it. Another way you can do it, if you come here, this is your VMware. If you go to SSH, connect to SSH. You understand? So you can actually go here. If you come here, try it will say configure. Normally it asks you for the IP address. I don't know why this one is not asking for the IP address. To ask you to actually put in the IP address. So let's try the configure option. Not Kali this time around. You can put your IP 192.168.249.130. Let's see if it's going to connect. It's a connection. Why is it always connected to 230? Okay, now MSF admin. Sorry, 1 minute. The login is what? MSF admin. That is the login. Username and password is MSF admin. Now, when you are in your Kali Linux, now you use the SSH command. Let me clear. So that will make it clear. The IF config for this particular one is what? 192.168.249.129. Now, the one for this one is what? 130. So we want to actually move from here to this other system. Now, what you do is what? MSF let me see the dot. So the command is here. Sorry, you have your SSH. Now, the name of that system is what? So this is the command you use so that I can show you here. SSH username at IP address. We are here. The username is what? MSF admin. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you
No,
now, sir.
it's because I actually I backdated the laptop. So that okay, where did we stop exactly? I don't know where I lost you guys. Where did I lose you people? Okay, let's try to actually hack in from here again. So we have the Metasploit of SSH. We have MSF admin at 192.168.249.130. So the password is MSF admin. So we are live. Okay, we are live. Sorry, it's because I backdated, so the internet went off. So we are live on it. So I can and I said you exit. You can just come here. You want to exit, you just exit. It brings you back here. And Nancy said what? There is still what? This Metasploit is actually still in the Kali line note. We call it MSF console. So it takes time to boot up. Can you please mute your mic? All right, thank you. So it takes some time to boot up, but that's it already up. So you can do something like show options. Sorry. So when we get to this part, you start using also when you hear labs, these are what we call labs. Now you will learn how to use a tool like this, a comprehensive. Okay, good evening, Mr. Luashola. You learn how to use a comprehensive tool like this. Are you getting it? So those are what we call labs. So at different stages. Okay, just press I copied it, I copied it, I copied it. Use I copied it. Use I copied it. I copied it. At the point in time, which other line? I only have one line. See, sorry, please. Let me just bring this to the notification of everybody. My phone actually had issues. My phone had issues, so we had to flash it. So I lost most of the WhatsApp chats. So I don't know the Mr. Oluwash. Are you sending Oh, and most of those other groups, I have to actually see how I can get access to them. Maybe somebody will send me the link or something because they are no longer here. Okay, it's a lot of message. Okay, can we please address this just after this class, Mr. Luashola? Please, let's address this after the class so that we don't create this distraction. Now, Mr. The password is MSF admin. MSF admin. That's the password, Mrs. Temitope. I need us to be sure that we all are here. The password is MSF admin. Let me do it again. You can exit here. So let me come to this place. This one is already up. I can close this, power it off. Let me be sure. Okay. Let me power it on. Okay. That you see that's actually why I backdate it. So I might just it will not show. It will not show. It will not show, please. It will not show its password. It will not show. So I have to just quickly backdate, then change back. It will not show. Okay, all right. That's fine. So let me just backdate and power on this machine one more time. So now that it's powering on, so let me just quickly change the date back so that I don't lose you guys. So this is the login part you are talking about. So it will ask for password. Please be sure you are logged in or already, because once you are logged in, it will take control of your mouse. To come out, you press Control Alternate. It comes back. So that is that. I don't know if you can hear me. So let's clear the screen. So we've actually taken 2 lessons today. We've taken 3 lessons all together. Now, I don't know if we have to recap on this, which is very, very essential. Sorry, I'm not seeing it. Yeah, this is very, very essential. We must actually, so I want us to spend more time on this so that we all can actually know it. Can you please actually write this thing out on your end on a sheet of paper, screenshot it, and actually send to me? Yes, that is it. So you can go back to your Kali Linux and actually do this on your Kali Linux. On that particular place you are, just do ifconfig. Look at the, search for the IP address of that particular stuff. So mine here is 192.168.249.130. So all I just did is to come here. I said SSH. The name is what? MSF admin. Or let's try to exploit. Now from here we change to our root. We change to root. You say cd /root, but so sudo passwd, unknown ID password. So you cannot change the password passwd. Let me write. Okay, I have changed the password for the root. Now let me do ifconfig. So it is still what? 130. Now let me come in and try to log in as root. If I can log in as root, what we are doing is what? So it will be what? If I come here, it will be root at 192.168. Let's see if it's going to fly. 249.130. It's asking me for root password. Okay. Sorry, I think I just changed the password now. Oh, this is the password. Okay. Ah, sorry, 1 minute, please. I just changed the password now. I just changed the password. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's go back. I just want to exploit a little, then let's see if the root is not working then. Oh, permission denied. Okay, it's denying the permission. It's not that they public password. Sorry, I think the next time we meet we'll try this route, but you can always do the MSF admin. I'm trying to log in into the route. It's actually denying it. You can actually log in as the user. It asks you it's MSF. Okay, what's happening? Oh, oh. Is this password I changed, not the root? Okay, I got it clearly now. But then how do you change the root password? Sorry, I'm just trying to actually see. Let me exit here. I'm trying to actually change it. Okay. I think we're heading somewhere. Yeah, that's it. I'm logged in as root. So yeah, that's it. So I've just shown you guys how to log in both as user and as root. So what I did, let me just explain what I did. So from here, I think we've done this before. Type your sudo password, type the command sudo password. Sorry. That's it. But you are still logged in as MSF admin. So like now I'm actually acting as the root. So I'm a root user now. So I can say show options. Okay. Let's just clear. So this is how you actually so change the password, change the root password, like you change your root password. So this is like I said. So you change, just do sudo password. It will prompt you of your MSF admin. You type it, then you now change the password. So you go to this place and actually log in. So type your sudo password command. So to change, it will ask you for your current user password. So that is actually, so when you look at it clearly, I did sudo password. Sudo password, it actually asks for what? Your current MSF admin password. You type it in, then to have a unique. So from there, you can now change the root password. So when you come back, you can now, instead of actually typing, you now do, sorry, 1 minute. So you now do SSH root at no longer user. So that is actually how you do it. I don't know, are we communicating? All right, please, can you type sudo password on your MSF console? Now, your current MSF admin password is what? Your current MSF admin password is, you are still where? No. Don't touch that, please. Just close it. Remind me later. Click on remind me later. So your current password is MSF admin. So what okay, let me slow down. And so this is what we had, this is what we do. Now when it asks you password, you type MSF admin, that's your password. Then so that you can actually see it. Now I'm here, I say sudo I want to change my password again.
Mr. Ikem again, no, can't hear you.
So can you all hear me now? Can you all hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, good. Let me share my screen. Like the okay. Let's take it step by step now. Now, first thing you need to do after installing your MSF your Metasploit table What you simply need to do is to what? We are trying to log in. This is your Metasploit table so that I don't confuse you people. That's why I try to take it slow. Now, this is where we are. I'm already logging. So let me just exit. Let me clear. The command, now the first thing you do is what? Check your IP address. What is the IP address here? ifconfig.
Mr. Ikem, I can't see your screen.
You can't see my screen like this?
Yes.
Sorry. Any other person having the same issue?
I can see your screen.
Okay. 1 minute. Let me screenshot. I will have to reshare it. So ifconfig. Sorry, I think this is wrong. ifconfig. So this is it. This is the command you use to actually get your what IP address. This is my IP address. I think that's the step one. So let's take it step by step. Okay, we'll come here. Sorry. So from your distance, can you locate this first? From your Metasploit table, can you locate this? All right. Now, when you actually have gotten that, the next thing you do is you now come to your, if you now know your IP address, you now come here, you type what? SSH. Come back to your Kali Linux terminal, SSH. Now, you want to actually do a secure shell login to MSF admin, not root now. The IP address is what? 192.168.249.130. So it will ask you for the password. I have changed my password, so I just type it in. Are you seeing? I am logged in. So let me screenshot this so that do this one first. Get this one clearly first. Then we'll now look at how to log in as the root. So this is the syntax you use. Do control alternate. Control, Mr. Solomon, control alternate, it will release it. Control alternate, it will release it. So somebody said he could not see my screen. I don't know if this helps. So those are the two things you need to do. I don't know if this helps. So that's the first part. The next part is what? The next part is how you change. I think we have done all this before. You understand? That is actually why it's going to actually learn. And this airport man. Okay. Now that is how. Please, can you all do this one first? Do this basic exploit. Go live on Metasploit table. So that let's take that one first. Are you sure that is the IP address of your Metasploit? Can you show me the do ifconfig on your Metasploit table? and actually show me the IP address. I think you're using the wrong IP address. Do ifconfig on your Metasploit table and show me the IP address. Mrs. Temitope, that's what I think you should do. Then your IP address is what? 192.168.102.129. So what did you use? You use the wrong IP address. 192.168.102.129. You are using a broadcast IP. You understand? So that so do it again. So I'm sure you should have gotten it by now. So do it again. So I don't know if everybody is following. Anybody with issues actually should just pick up. Just drop your issues. I just want to use the for just 1 minute. So now this is the beginning of your journey. Now you know the password. That is why it was easy for you to let me see. Can you show me this thing? Can you show me your Metasploit table? Config on your Metasploit table. Yeah, you click yes. Click yes, yes. Why yes? Type yes in. When he asks you that question, you just type yes. Mrs. Temitope, when he asks you that question, you type yes. Y-E-S. He said, are you sure you want to continue? You type Y-E-S. You are just doing it for the first time. That's why it's asking you. You type yes and you press enter. Is any other person having any issue, please, so that we can actually address it? Same thing for Mrs. Grace. Just type yes. Type yes and enter. YES. Type yes and enter. Mr. Godwin, type yes and enter. Then tell me your results. Can you show me your IP address on your MSF console? Because that's not what it's supposed to give you. Okay. I think that answers that question. Mr. Solomon, show me your IP address on your MSF console, on your Metasploit table. Show me your IP address on your Metasploit table. Okay, 1 minute. So that's 192.168.195.129. Okay, sorry. 5.129. Are you sure? Because you are not typing the password right. Have you changed your password? You are not typing the password right, Mrs. Grace. That is why it's denying the permission. Try to type the MSF admin very, very well. You're not typing the password right. You don't have a problem. It's granting you access, but your password, you're not typing the password right. So people are actually logging it. So I think the only person we have issues with is Mr. Solomon, and I wonder why we are having that issue with you. 192.168. Can you actually clear your screen and retry it? Yeah. So you said. I'm wondering why we're having that issue. So the only person we're having issues with is Mr. Solomon. You are using the wrong IP address, please. That thing is 192.168, not 192.162. That is why you're having problem. That thing is 192.168, not 192.162, please. Your IP address is 192.168, not 192.162. That is why you're having problem. So I think we have solved that part. Is anybody having issues? So the last part is, if you can log in, I want everybody to be able to log in at what? Okay. Mr. Jesupe Miwale, are you having issues? Please,
Sorry, sir. What password do we use here?
come again.
What password do we use here? Is it
It's
requesting for
MSF
password
admin now. MSF admin.
again?
MSF admin.
Okay, as the password.
MSF admin. MSF ADMIN. The password. MSF ADMIN. That is your password. You have to type it in very, very well. So that is your. So you can change it. You can change it on your own to what you want to.
I guess it won't display the password.
No, it won't display the password. It won't display the password. So you have to type it in very well. The password is MSF admin. MSF admin. So I guess you have been able to log in, so you can exit. So that is actually how. So, but you logged in as what? As MSF admin. Can you try logging in as root? No. Once you type it once, it's you. I think it asks for the password twice, right?
Yeah.
Or is it once, twice?
Yes.
Or it will ask you for the password twice. So that's your Metasploit table. Okay, do ifconfig. 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 Do ifconfig.
Sorry, am I okay?
Yes, you are okay. We've done the first part. Then the next part is you want to log in as root, but you should be able to change your root password. You don't know your root password now, because if I come here, I'm sure you guys are seeing my screen. Now, when I come here, now let me exit. Let me clear. If you try this SSH root, you are logging in as a user root at same IP 192.168.249. It will ask you for your what? Password, but you don't know your root password. How do you change the root password and know the root password? We have done this thing before in normal Kali Linux. How do you change your root password in Kali Linux? That's what you come here to repeat. How do you change your root password in Kali Linux? Can somebody tell me? We have done it before.
Sudo root.
How do you change? Sudo what?
Sudo root.
No, it's sudo password, not sudo root. I said
Okay.
not changing user, changing password. We have done that before here. It's like you guys have forgotten. Now, if I type sudo password, it will ask for my MSF admin password. Just type your MSF admin password is MSF admin. It will not tell you. Sorry. It will not tell you enter new Unix password. You understand? Okay, let me just change it to simple. Okay. The password do not match. Let me do it again. Sudo PASSWD. So this is what you need to do. So password successfully changed. I believe we all know how to do this from what you've learned from your normal Kali Linux, how you change password. These are simple interview questions they might ask you, but this is too basic to be able to actually, these are essentials you should know. Please note this. Once you do sudo password, it will ask you for your what? Your current user password. You just type your new, you understand? Your new password. Let me paste it here. So that is the next thing you do. So when you do that, when you have successfully changed your root password here, all you just need to do is come back here and log in as root. I know my root password as connection closed. So let me do it again. I know my root password as this. You see, I have logged in as root. So that is actually, that's the last part of today's class. So I have logged in as root. So I don't know if you guys, everybody understands it to this place. So if you're able to do the first one, all you just need to do is go to Metasploit, type sudo password. It will ask you for your current password. Yes, that is what you are logged in. You are logged in currently as MSF admin. This is how you change it. That is why I did this. This is how you change it to this thing. You actually do what? You typed, okay, good. Somebody has done it. Password changed. You type in what? Sudo password. Have you forgotten how you change your password? The same way you change your root password on Kali Linux, you do that. It will ask you for what? MSF admin password. You type your password. It will not tell you to change your root password. Second step, it will demand your I don't know, what did you do here? What did you do here? Which one, Mr. This thing, what is this? Is it Kali Linux or MM? Can you speak? I don't understand your question.
Mr. Ikem, can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay, sir. I don't know. Like I use Control C to see if it can take me back to root.
No. You don't use control. Are you where are you currently now? Are you on Kali?
Yeah, I'm still on Kali.
Exit. Exit. Do
okay,
exit. Just press exit. It will take you back to root. From Metasploit, if you want to come back to root, you press exit. Like here now. If I want to do, I just press what? Exit. Are you seeing? It will log you out. You can now clear. So, are you okay now?
Yes, I'm okay. Thank you.
Okay, good. It's exit you press.
Okay.
Exit.
said when we change the password to root, what do we do next? I've actually
Do you?
changed to root.
I think the question is, can you remember how you change your root password?
I've actually changed this Metasploit to root already.
No, you said what?
I've changed the password to root.
You've changed the root password. Is that
Yes.
what you mean? Good.
Yes, sir.
Now,
Successfully.
successfully. Now go back to Kali and repeat what you did. But at this time, you do root at, not MSF admin at, SSH root at. Then when he asks you for password, type that new password you change into it. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's it. That's it. So for everybody, I think you actually getting it. So if you have questions at this stage, so you see, it is not, we're no longer doing prerequisite. You're either doing the written. Now, when it comes to the real life, you might not know the password. So normally what you do, you run a Python script with a group of text, which you will do along this particular training. You will run it. You will generate what? That's why that first project I gave you, you run such script. So as that script is running, it is testing different password at that password stage. So when it gets anyone, it will just log in automatically because you will not know the sum, you will not know the password. Are you getting it? But you have the IP address, you now want to test it. Does that make sense? So that is why Python is necessary. That is why you learn Bash script, you learn Python. It's for what? Penetration testing. So if you want to test what cyber resilience, that is, you write it, you still get to that part in this particular training. So now it's because you know the password from MSF admin, and from MSF admin, you'll be able to navigate, because if you can log in as one user, you can change other users. That is it. Are you seeing the reality? Once you can log in as one user, you can have access to the administrator. You can now go and change other users, delete users. So that is why it's essential you secure access to any device. So I believe this class is different from what you used to know. So let me retract back. Now you see something like Python 3, you do whatever you want to do, or you, after writing the script, normally it will tell you to write the IP address of the stuff you want to attack. Now it's from there you get the IP address. Most of the time you actually use NSLOOKUP to look at the IP address. You now add the text file where you store the password, so it will start running. We get to that stage. That is why there's a Python class. So I don't know if you have any question on what we have done so far. And is anybody, are we all on the same page? So if you have any question on what we have done so far, we can actually call. So we've taken 3 things today. We've looked at file hierarchy. We've looked at we've looked at file hierarchy. We've looked at text operations. Then we've looked at SSH, secure. Okay, that's fine. So it's simple and straightforward. So it's something you should be able to do. It's simple and straightforward. So if you've been able to do the one for the MSF, you're able to do the one for the root. So please, you see that all this knowledge, I don't know if it's now, and it should be forming an image. What it means simply, when you can log in as one user, not the admin, you can actually hack into the admin. You can now, if you are protecting the network, what you should be thinking now, you should start building the mindset. How do you protect the network? I think the next time, the first thing I will show you in the Python class is how you use Responder. Now, Responder is used timely in AD, Active Directory, when you go for break. That is when the attacker uses Responder. Now, that Responder, because when you go for break and you all are on the same network, or maybe early in the morning, when you are now signing your username and password, the Responder will actually be like a man in the middle. It will actually be asking what you do in username and password. It will send a broadcast. When it sends a broadcast, it mimics and you actually do a spoofing. So when you start understanding the architecture and the mindset of an hacker, you can now actually protect a network very well. So the first thing you learn is hacking. Now, from what you have seen so far, it shows you clearly that once you log in as a user, you can log in, take control of. Once you are now the root of a or the control of a system, you can do and undo. That's why your mastery of this particular topic gives you an edge. Now, from here, gives you an edge. Once you understand that, once you are en route anywhere, you can have access to the bin, the boot, the etc, the user, the var file. You can know how to do it. But this particular Metasploit table is a little bit different from what you're used to. The commands are different. Let me come back to it so that you can see that the commands are a little bit different. So let me just try to. I can't even remember. Let me see. Okay. Now, if you say help, so I say that the commands are different. His own command are mainly exploitation command. His own command are mainly exploitation command. So you won't actually see the normal Linux command. His own command are mainly exploitation to attack. That is his own command. So I think we'll take a pause here. Let me ask you, let me take questions if you ask, so that you can go back and revise what you have done. So you've been able to see how you can use SSH secure shell to log in into remote system manually, not automated. Now, you still write a script where you can do that because you will not have this system closed. You can just look up, somebody calls you and say, can you do a vulnerability assessment penetration test on our website? You understand? There are commands to you to look up the IP of the website. You know the IP. Okay, you know what? From your experience of passive information gathering and active information gathering, you now know a user. So with that user's IP, you can now log in. So that is actually how the system is. So I don't know if you guys have any password, please. Sorry, I say password. Question. Do you have any question you want to ask? Mr. Joseph Pepe Mwale, okay. Then go back to the prompt and actually what you did in MSF config, do it at root at the password. So in the absence of no question, we'll be calling this class. Classes close 10 p.m. Now, please, for all those who have received offer letter, try as much as possible to revert before 9 a.m. tomorrow, please. You sign on it and revert before 9 a.m. tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be taking. Tomorrow we'll be taking. Tomorrow we'll be taking. Tomorrow we'll be taking. Python. So you'll be starting from the scratch. I think with 1 week of Python, we should have actually gone very far for you to start writing scripts on it. So you take the basic Python first, then before you now actually take scripts. So I don't know if you guys don't have question. I think we call it a day here. Okay, the purpose of the Metasploit table is actually it's an attacking tool. It's what you use to do exploitation. Now, there is what we call exploitation. You are attacking, they call something exploitation. So it's an attacking tool. So you will learn the lab. It's an attacking tool. So I just brought it out because I using it. So it's what you use to do exploit. You take advantage of other systems. You use it to attack vulnerabilities. So it's an attacking tool. So they are different. It has labs of its own. So you can still access it here on the Kali Linux. That's why I said you can access it here. So I just want to show you how you use, how I put it. It's the easiest way to set up two machines. Like you have two machines now. You have your normal Kali. You have another machine. So we'll get to a stage where you set up 5 machines. Now, this is the advantage of what? A simulator. You are doing it manually. The simulator has actually replicated machines. So as you are doing it, you are gaining what? A scenario experience. So this is what? Setting up labs manually. So it's used for what? Exploitation. So I don't know if any other person asked question. I don't know if I've answered your question, Mr. Agbolahon. So that is what is used. So you've not learned the command. The commands of the Metasprite table is beyond the scope of this particular training. So I just use it as an example for you to be able to learn how to. What you've done is you move from one machine, you've broken, you've been able to exploit another machine because you have access to the IP and you know the username and password. But most occasion doesn't call like that. You don't get those sort of scenario in real life. What you have is a text of millions of passwords. You run the script. I don't know. Have I been able to answer your question? Let me take it one step after the other. I'm waiting for questions. So please, we are very sorry for the glitch that happened yesterday. You are typing the wrong password, sir. That is why it's denying you. You are typing the wrong password. You are typing the wrong password. That is why it's denying the permission. Are you sure is the root? You are still using MSF password. You are supposed to log in as root. You understand? You are confusing the old two things. Now, MSF admin is still MSF admin. You are confusing those two things. Mr. Agbola, I'm still expecting your question. No. What I try to do in this class, the purpose of trying to do this, I want to set up two different machines, independent machine, not terminal, because if we go here and actually do, you are only having 2 or 3 terminals. I wanted 2 independent machines that you can move from one to the other one. Now, when I actually use 2 or 3 terminal, it is still the same Kali Linux. That is actually why the easiest way to do that is to tell you to download Metasploit table. You understand? So that you can have 2 different machines in your VMware. So you can hack from 1 to 2. What question you have not asked? Is it possible to hack from this Metasploit table to what? To your this thing. You understand? The commands is a different system. The commands are different. You can't do it. I don't know if I'm answering your question. It's just setting up 2 different machines that you move from one to the other. So you'll be able to move from this to the. Now let's see if you can hack. Now the Metasploit table is a lab. Okay. Let me just try to show this. Now let's say SSH root for my own system, root at 192.168.249.129. You see, it is because this particular system, it is not the normal, its commands are different. When you type help, you see that its own commands are different. Are you seeing? So it's not the normal, its own lab, it's a lab, it's a tool here. So the kind of command you use on it is different. If you come back here, you still have it here, which you can clear. So the scope of it is beyond, you learn that. Sorry, exit, sorry. You can now clear. So in the absence of no question, this is your Metasploit here too on Kali. So you will learn the lab. So when they say labs, it's how to use it to actually do exploitation. So from penetration testing upward, up to cyber warfare, up to Python or offensive Python. Those are the things you should be learning. So that is actually how to do. Just show options to tell you what you need to do. So those are the commands. show this one, it will show you. So it's the scope is beyond this training. So always build your mind that you will write. That should be my driver. This is what the script looks like. This is our. Are you seeing 520? Are you seeing how the echo is? So it is in depth. So I need you guys to go back and revise what you have been taught. That is actually why I'm making sure there is notes. That is why I'm making sure that there is notes so that you can go back to revise it. Because at this stage, we expect you to be able to have basic so that you can actually you can take complex things. I'll be with you in the next 10 minutes. I'll be with you in the next 5 minutes. Okay. So that is that. I don't know if anybody asks a question or we pause it here so that we take Python. So you see, you mix both of them. If you notice, if you are seeing FI here, I don't know if this is a batch script or but the way it's looking, let me see. The function is actually looking like a Python script, but it looks like a batch script. So are you seeing? So you actually will be exposed and your mind will be blown. So while we are doing this, a lot of people have actually got into that state. They got discouraged and left. So my job is to stretch your mind and actually ensure you have what it takes to absorb those volume of information. As you can see, the length of the script. As you can see where it's coming from. Sorry. Yeah, that is what I said. That is what I said is a tool for what? Exploitation. So that is it. It's still the same thing we are exploitation means penetration testing. Maybe you don't understand what I mean by exploitation. It's a tool used for what? Exploitation. When you exploit things, you are checking is what? Resilience and vulnerability. So that maybe what the stuff is penetration testing. So in the lab, you will see different ways of using it to do that. So at this point, thank you all for coming for the training. I'm sure you now see that there is a difference between the prerequisite class and this training. This is the real thing. We'll meet tomorrow, same time, to actually start Python. So get ready. Thank you very much and see you tomorrow.